and that's what we have to watch. And that's why it's, once again, back to thoughts. What's conducive to best self? What's degrading to best self? And just behaving that way. And then the thing is, there's going to be times where we know the thing's not beneficial to our well-being. We know that the right path is something that's beneficial to our well-being. Maybe we consciously decide to do the other, and I mean, it's part of living life. It's part of experience. There's times where I still want to eat pizza, and I do eat pizza. There's times where I want to have a dessert, and I do have a dessert. There's times where I still want a caffeinated beverage, and I have a caffeinated beverage. There's times where I want to watch a violent movie, and I watch a violent movie. Or I watch something that maybe not conducive to my best self. But that's your conscious decision. And that's the difference between doing things out of like impulse. I'm frustrated, I'm upset, I'm going to eat, I'm annoyed, I'm going to distract myself with this nonsense, and it may not be the very best thing for you, but in my opinion, in my experience, it is the transition. Because it's all a transition. Rome wasn't built in a day. You didn't cultivate the discipline to be this being who has what you have, but is on his way to having what you actually want, the goal, by increasing your discipline, by increasing your health, by increasing your mental fortitude, by increasing your physical strength, by increasing your emotional wellness, by increasing your spirituality and your connection to the universe or to God. But at times, you let it all go, And don't beat yourself up. We're human beings. Once again, we have that nature within us where we're always going to tend to have temptation and be susceptible to it. And if you beat yourself up about it and all those different things, then you're more likely, in my opinion, to go down that rabbit hole and snowball it into worse behavior. Where you're just like, all right, well, I consciously made a decision because I wanted to cheat on the diet or cheat on, my goals. And now I'm flipping back to the, to the righteous. And in that way, less and less you'll be doing it because you'll think about it and you'll beat yourself up a little bit, but just don't harp on it. Because then when you're beating yourself up and you're calling yourself nasty names, you're getting negative within the mind, now the devil or the negativity or whatever you want to call it, it has that wedge. It inserted itself in your mind, and now it always has to pry itself a little bit for all the negativity and nonsense and the nastiness to stream in. But if you shut that cry, you go, no, not today. However you want to put it, not today, Satan, not today, negativity. I'm not doing it today. You shut the gap. And you give yourself some more time to snowball those things in the right direction for good and righteousness and purpose and passion and strength and vitality, intensity of life. Because when we live with intensity, we feel deeper. We experience on a different level. And it makes our life, in my opinion, once again, more worth living. And all these opinions are based upon me living a very terrible, awful, miserable life for like 30 years. And now, not so much. I guess one of the problems that I run into, excuse me, one of the things that I run into on a regular basis is always wanting more. Once again, I believe that this is a human condition, a human phenomenon, something that we all can relate to, something that we all go through. So I'm thinking about that quite a bit. I'm happy in all aspects of my life. We had a meeting for the Agora Guild. If you listened to my episode a few weeks ago with Bart Henderson, I forget what I named the episode, but it says Agora Guild right in the title. And they were talking about all the levels of life, spirituality, finance, money, as I said, finance, your relationships, your performance, your productivity, and all these different things. So I'm going through them and I'm rating them all like pretty good. But in the success one, I didn't have much to say. I don't feel like I'm successful. And it hurts sometimes, just being honest. I know we could look in the mirror sometimes and go, damn man, life is not turning out the way that I envisioned. In fact, you could take it a step further and go, I don't even think that my life is equal to the amount of work that I'm putting in. And that could be a deadly trap. And it could spin, once again, a healthy habit into a negative one. You know, I can feel myself doing it on days where I feel good, on days where I wake up and I don't have the battle. So it's a different battle. On days I wake up and we wake up and we don't feel like doing it. We don't feel like going through the motions today. And we have that battle. There's other days where I wake up and I feel good. It's a different battle. Because when I feel good, I want to feel better. When I have some, I want more. And I can catch myself doing it in very small ways. And I'll make some examples. If I wake up and feel good, I'll go, all right, let's break my fast with something healthy. Now that's a good thing, right? And I'll take my vitamins. I'll feel better. Then I take my vitamins and I'm like, okay, I ate, broke my fast, I have my vitamins. Now a little bit of caffeine, maybe I'll even feel better. A little bit of caffeine. Which is all right. You get there. You're not bad. I'm going to do that stuff anyway. Yeah, you know what? Let's go out. I feel good, man. I'm not saying it, but in reflection, once again, I know I feel better. Go out. Now I'm out and about spending money that I shouldn't be spending, whether it's gas or food or going, wherever we go. Wherever you go, you leave the house, you're spending money. In Florida, you leave the house, you're probably dropping a bean, like minute. You know what I mean? So now I'm doing that. And then I'll have to reel myself back, like, damn, you felt good. None of this was necessary. Why are you chasing this feeling? And then it's the same way with success. Like, if you were to gauge your success based upon where you were 10 years ago, are you successful? Because 10 years ago, let's see, my son's 8. 10 years ago, I was in prison. So I'd say I'm pretty successful in the eyes of where I was 10 years ago. In fact, not only am I out of prison, I ain't even been back, after going back 4 times over the course of like 15 years.